For my family history project, my initial question was, where did my great-grandfather come from? I am part Dutch, and I was interested in learning about the time in which my great-grandfather lived in Holland. After calling my grandpa to ask about his dad, he gave me some good insight as well as starting points to research. In the phone conversation with my grandpa, he told me that my great-grandfather John lived in Enschede, Holland. He was born in 1890, the year Vincent van Gogh committed suicide, until 1920, when he moved to the United States. Enschede is the easternmost part of Holland and is minutes away from the German border. My great-grandpa lived during World War I, where he wanted to join the military, but was rejected because of a bummed knee. Although my great-grandfather wasn't in Enschede during World War II, I found it interesting that the city was the first to be captured by Germans. Out of 1,300 Jews, 500 were saved, which was more than anywhere else in the Netherlands. This was due to the Jewish Council led by Gerard Sanders, Sig Menko, and Isidore van Dam, who helped Enschede Jews go into hiding. Enschede was also frequently bombed by Allied forces due to it being a German-captured town. My great-grandpa was also a soccer player and could have possibly been part of two major soccer clubs in the 1900s, the Enschede Boys, founded in 1906 by a group of teenagers, or SC Enschede, founded in 1910. In 1965, both teams combined to form what is now called FC Twente. When he moved to the United States, he played semi-pro soccer here. Every Sunday, he'd have his games and my great-grandmother would have to do all the milking of the cows on Monday because my great-grandpa was always so roughed up the next day. Enschede in the 19th century was a hub of industrialization, being a major place of textile production and specializing in creating bombazine, a mixture of linen and cotton, which became a huge export hit. The industrialization boom caused a chaotic increase of population where many slums had been torn down and expanded to accommodate the growing population. My great-grandfather always complained that he couldn't understand Southern Holland because of such a language difference. The official name is the Netherlands, but the government official travel website says Holland.com because Holland sounds friendlier. There were two provinces that made up the Netherlands, Northern and Southern Holland. The South was named the Netherlands, and the people there were Dutch and spoke Dutch. The people of Northern Holland were referred to as Hollanders, but they spoke more German than anything, so for a while there was some linguistic confusion. My great-grandfather ended up moving to the United States for religious freedom in the early 1920s to Minnesota due to religious persecution and conflict. He was Catholic, and my grandpa says Catholics were always catching hell over there in Holland. Pillarization, or political denominational segregation of society, caused segregation of the beliefs of the people of Holland. The group of immigrants in the 19th century were called followers immigrants because they were inspired by letters they had received from family members in America. This was known as chain migration. On the ship over to America, my great-grandfather bought a farm to raise his family, so he had it before arriving. When he arrived, he was surprised to find that what he purchased was not a farm, but just a bunch of land. Scams like this frequently happened to immigrants coming here, and they ended up losing their money. Dutch settlers in the 18th century moved to Pennsylvania and Michigan. When Dutch settlers came to Michigan, they pushed out Native Americans because they brought smallpox and their livestock trampled the natives' vegetable gardens. In modern-day Enschede, it is known for its innovation, especially in architecture. Its rich cultural tradition brings thousands of people from around the world every year. It is also a very artistic and musical city, specializing in rock, musicals, soul, and jazz. The city is filled with theaters and cinemas, as well as art galleries and exhibitions with all varieties of visual arts that reflect its cultural diversity.